Okay, the fan energy coming into this Monday is genuinely all over the place. Some people are relieved, some are still anxious, and a surprising number of people have spent their weekend thinking about Sergio Ramos turning 40. We have a lot to get through.
Madre mia, where do we even start? The Vinicius situation had me running the same injury update searches on a loop all weekend. That scare was real, and the fan base absolutely felt it.
Let's start there because, honestly, the collective anxiety spike on Saturday when Vini skipped training was something to behold. Fans went from zero to full catastrophe mode in about 20 minutes flat.
Tio, one fan put it perfectly. He said, "Every time we start believing again, the universe finds a way to remind us we're Real Madrid fans." That's the existential dread of the Madridista in one sentence.
And then Vini was back in training with Brazil on Sunday, and the relief was almost comical. The same accounts that were posting crying emojis at noon were posting heart emojis by evening. Emotional whiplash.
But here's what I found interesting. Even in the relief, fans weren't fully exhaling. Several people were saying things like, "Okay, he trained, but was it full training or just light work?" The trust in international break injury updates is basically zero at this point.
That's a completely rational response, honestly. The fan base has been burned enough times by "he trained normally" turning into "he felt something in the warm-up" to know better. The skepticism is earned.
And then there's the whole Vini Prestiani incident at the Benfica match that's been adding another layer to this. Gaetan and Saviola both weighed in, and the fan reactions to their comments have been spicy, to say the least.
Right, so Gaetan and Saviola took the diplomatic route, essentially saying they condemn what was said, but also that provocation is a factor. And fans were divided right down the middle on whether that's wisdom or cowardice.
One fan comment that got a lot of traction basically said, "The moment you add a but after condemning racism, you've already lost the argument." And I think that captured a lot of the frustration in the replies.
On the other hand, there were fans pointing out that Gaetan and Saviola are Argentine former players with relationships on both sides of this. It's not like they're going to go fully in one direction. The nuance is complicated.
Venga, let's shift to Mbappé because he spoke publicly about his commitment to Madrid, and the fan reaction to that has been fascinating. He said people in Spain are a little worried he won't play, and he wants to clear that up.
And the fan-based response was basically split into three camps. Camp 1. Finally, he's addressing it. Good. Camp 2. The fact that he has to address it at all is the problem. Camp 3, and this one was my favorite. He should just score goals, not give interviews.
That third camp is very Real Madrid fan-coded, honestly. We don't want words, we want a hat trick. But I do think there's something meaningful in him actually coming out and saying it rather than just letting the noise build.
The interesting tension in the comments was that a lot of fans who were defending him said things like, "He's been showing up in training, he's been working hard." But then other fans were firing back with, "We covered the Bellingham debate 3 days ago, and Mbappe's positioning is still a mess." The debate from last week hasn't gone anywhere.
Que barbaridad! It really hasn't. We talked about the Mbappé-Bellingham positioning question on Friday, and it's still the #1 tactical argument in the comments section. Fans are genuinely split on whether Mbappé is committed to the system or just committed to Mbappé.
One comment that stuck with me. Someone wrote, "I don't doubt his effort, I doubt his adaptability." And I think that's actually a more sophisticated version of the criticism than "he doesn't care." It's not about desire, it's about fit.
Now, and I cannot believe this is a real thing we're talking about on a Monday morning, Bayern Munich has apparently decided to remind everyone that they are the beast of Real Madrid because it's the 50th anniversary of their rivalry.
They posted about it on their website, which is "We're definitely not insecure about the Champions League final energy." And Real Madrid fans found this absolutely hilarious.
The best comment I saw was, "Bayern calling themselves our beast while we've knocked them out how many times in recent years? Tio, this is like a boxer reminding people he once landed a jab in 1975. The disrespect was immaculate.
To be fair, the history is real. There are some iconic Bayern wins over Madrid in that 50-year span, but the timing of bringing this up right now, when Madrid are in good form and Bayern are not in this conversation, the fan base was not going to let that slide.
And then Sergio Ramos turns 40 today, which is genuinely one of those moments that makes you feel things. Fans were sharing old clips, old goals, the Champions League headers. The nostalgia was absolutely flowing this weekend.
What I found genuinely touching was how unified the fan reaction was. No debates, no discourse, just pure love. One comment, with a lot of upvotes, simply said, "Much better than I expected," when talking about his overall career impact on the club. Short, but it landed.
And there's this beautiful image someone described. Ramos, walking out with Cristiano, 80,000 people screaming. Just thinking about it is something else. That era felt like it would never end, and now Ramos is 40, with offers on the table and a possible retirement looming.
The Sevilla purchase angle is interesting too. Fans are genuinely curious whether he ends up as a club owner rather than a player. The comments ranged from "legendary next chapter" to "please just retire with dignity. Don't go somewhere just to say you played at 40.
Either way, 40 years old, and the man still generates this much emotion in the fanbase. That's the Ramos effect. Hala Madrid, Sergio. Even if we can't stop arguing about everything else, we agree on you.
That's going to do it for today's Ruido Blanco. Tomorrow morning we're back. Vini's status will hopefully be clearer. The Mbappé debate will definitely not have resolved itself. And knowing this fan base, someone will have found a new thing to be furious about by then. We'll be here for all of it.